Right everyone, Anthony Cummins here. So we're going to do it's Christmas time, so we're trying to get rid of all the questions so I can start New Year with a good easy slate. So today we're going to be talking about Shinobi before the year 1600, or before the 1600s, and we'll move up and you'll see we'll include some of the 1600s. Okay, it's been going around that the word ninja, or Shinobi no Mono as it's correctly termed, it wasn't invented till the 1600s, which is dog shit. Basically not true. So I just want to quell this one, boom, with a hammer. However, there are nuances and arguments and small things to consider, but here's a brief history, a very brief history of the term shinobi. Not just shinobi no mono, shinobi meaning someone clearly doing something ninja-like. Okay. Let's go back to the 1370s. So the 1370s is a conservative date for the Taiheki Chronicle, the Great Peace. And even though the ideogram for shinobi appears many, many times in it, it appears as representative of people doing something in a specific military style in two quotes, okay? So from the 1370s, we have an identifiable reference to shinobi doing something, not shinobi no mono, just shinobi doing something. In one case it's arrows, and in the other one I think it's burning some stuff down. So shinobi were out there peppering people with arrows, and another one is shinobi were going out, I am from memory, burning something or infiltrating something. Now by the 1500s there's a problem here. Now Stephen Nojiri is the one following this up. There are possibly some quotes using shinobi no hei, shinobi soldiers, things like that in the 1500s. But the problem is all of these documents, which are Kusunoki related, have been re-edited in the 1600s. So we don't know whether they were placed back in, the word shinobi was placed in context or not. But once that, so what we're looking for is a Sengoku period transcription of one of these documents, which will be somewhere in Japan, and we can check it, and I'll go to Japan and I'll check it, and it'll say, oh, it's shinobi, and if the document is written in the 1500s, then it's there, we're solid. But obviously Corona, money and all that stops that at the moment, but that will go ahead. Now, the next thing is in the Iga Museum, there's the Iga Museum collection. There is a document that's claimed to be from 1547 that talks about shinobi-like things. It's in the Fujita Seiko collection, and it's his collection on ninja, but because nobody can see what's in the document and the title doesn't use the word shinobi, we don't know. So it's possible that in 1547, dyslexic Cummins, there is something there. Now, we do know that in 1560, the date of 1560 is given for the Shinobi Hiden. Now, some people say, oh, it's a fake date, but we've already discussed this in the Hattori Hanzo paradox. If they were using his name to be famous, then he's famous for being a ninja, which means there's absolutely no reason this document could have been written in the 1560s. Makes no, I've still yet to see a single piece of evidence to say it's wrong. So 1560, we see Shinobi Hiden, absolutely shinobi, and in there is the word ninja, no problem. You get I think it's the 1583 or the 1586, somewhere around there, Ogiden, Shinobi Ogiden one, and that's there, and basically some people have said that's an 1800s copy, and so an 1800s manual pretending to be 1500s from the 1580s, and other people say it's from the 1580s and transcribed in the 1800s, but basically the date given on the manual is the 1580s, and it is absolutely uses the word shinobi in there plenty of times. So again, until it's proven that it's wrong, 1580s, that mentions that, but let's see some proof of why it's wrong. I know Stephen Turnbull put forward the idea that there's a fictional character in it, but the fictional character is Sengoku period as far as I'm aware, and there's no reason why it can't be written in the Sengoku period, because fictional characters do appear in history because people believed that fictional characters were real. So you often get this in history. Look at Bede's History of England. King Arthur's in there, but we don't have a historical king called King Arthur, but it's there. So you wouldn't say that's not the right date because it's got King Arthur in, is it? So just because it's got something fantasy in it doesn't make it historically inaccurate for its time. Okay, then again back to the Iga Museum, we have 1596, we have something called the Hachiman Tonko no Maki. So again, It's based on Hachiman. It doesn't say what's in it, but it's in the Fujita Shinobi collection, so it's assumed that it's got something Shinobi in it, but we can't see that. Then the next, we have an undated thing that could go back to the 1400s, it could go back to the 1500s, we don't know. We've got the 100 poems by Yoshimori, and we know that they're from the 1500s because at least 1601, 1602, but 1500s, because Ogasawara says that, so Ogasawara Sakun, who wrote the Gunpo Joshu, says, I've got this 100 poems from somewhere before. It gives the name of the manuals, said this is from before me, and we know he's a Sengoku period warrior, so he's like, this is, from an old collection. So we have that. So definitely Shinobi is in the 100 poems. If even the person in opposition to my point couldn't say any more than 1609, 1610 at the very latest, and that would be the furthest you could stretch it away from being in the Sengoku period, and that would be pushing it to, like, he literally picked up the manual and started writing that day, and that manual was written the day before he started writing it. You'd have to be about 1611, 1610. So unless the writer of the manual then passed it to him in the next office and he wrote it down, it's 1500s. Realistically. And that uses the word shinobi many, many times. Then, of course, 1612, we get the Gunpo Joshu, but it's ridiculous to say that the word shinobi is from 1612 in the Gunpo Joshu, when we absolutely know full well the author was a wartime veteran and fought, we don't know whether he fought for Takeda or he fought for Tokugawa, but afterwards he was a retainer of the Tokugawa. Everybody was, basically, but you know what I mean, he was close enough to get his manual to Tokugawa Ieyasu. We know that he was getting his information from a shinobi from the Takeda forces, so without doubt he is writing about shinobi from his knowledge of the late 1500s. Then we get about, hold on a minute, we get about 1632, we get shinobi Kogami or something like that, no Maki, you'll have to excuse me, I've had to go and get these words, but again, that's in the Iga Ueno Museum, the pronunciation might be different. And then we start seeing the 1630s, 1639, we start seeing shinobi all over the place. I've got manuals from the 1630s that are yet unpublished. It's amazing. I've got an amazing manual, which is comparable to the size of the Shoninki, with some excellent close scouting techniques, and another one with like walking on your hands. It's got all that. It's even got the possibility of a ninja hood. We don't know, but that's from 1639, I remember. And then from there we start to see shinobi's just everywhere, and you get Shoninki, Bansen, Shukai, all of that starts coming on, Chikamatsu's, and then shinobi is universally used across. So we definitely see the word from the 1300s, we see it used in the 1500s, and we know that in the 1580s, again from memory, that there's a monk writing about the people of Iga infiltrating. But like Stephen Turnbull points out, there are many people infiltrating, not just the people from Iga. So what makes them special? There's nothing that says they're special, except it's then backed up by the Gunpo Joshu, which is literally 15 years later. It's less than the time I've been on, or about the time I've been on YouTube. Later, the guy says, everybody knows that the people from Iga can do this amazingly and they infiltrate and all that. So I disagree with Stephen Turnbull on this one, because clearly it shows that the Iga people are the infiltrating specialists. And if that was isolated, I'd agree with them. But then it's backed up literally 15 years later that, do you know what? Iga are amazing. So, or from knowledge from someone who's around the same time. And then, of course, we go on to all the ninja manuals that were Edo period shinobi manuals. So there you go, guys. So I hope that helps. So anybody who tells you the word shinobi was not around until the 1600s is wrong. It's around since the 1370s. But what they should be saying is that it appears in the 1370s as a conservative date, disappears, is possibly around in the 1400s, but most of the texts have been re-edited, and the world is waiting for Anthony Cummins to go check it, or Stephen Ojiri has put another job on me, and then it reappears again in the 1500s. So basically there's a 200 period where we're lacking of why it's not there, and that's the question of why it's not found in the 14 and early 1500s, but then it sparks into existence in 1560, 1570, 1580, and then it's universal by 1650, 1630. So that's what they should be saying. It does appear clearly. Okay, guys, please support me by getting my books. It always helps. Subscribe, pass this stuff along, get the conversations going in the ninja community, and enjoy Christmas. I'm actually on holiday now. I've got auto response going on my emails a lot, but I thought I'd better clear some of these videos up.